Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Yarns with Andy. Today I've got Jono Lockwood from Timescape. Welcome, mate. And so glad that you can be here and make some time to be on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, cheers, man. So tell us a little bit about Timescape, yourself. What do you guys do for the New Zealand construction industry?
Yeah, sure. I'm Jono, one of three co-founders of Timescapes, and we are an advanced construction camera company. We capture visual data on projects, and we leverage AI to interpret actionable insights on those projects and then present them back to the project teams. So we've been around for 6 years, and there's kind of three phases behind Timescapes and how we started to where we are now.
Yeah.
We initially started Timescapes capturing projects remotely through our camera system, bringing high resolution time lapse essentially to the construction industry and solving a problem of disconnectedness, where construction projects are super complex with so many different teams involved.
We found so many different moving parts along with it.
Totally. So we found that this problem of disconnectedness was happening, and the owner or the consultants, the engineers or the construction team all didn't have a forum to visually talk about their projects. So that's really how Timescape started, and doing it through high resolution and high quality time lapse. Once we validated the market and we started getting a bit of traction in the industry and seeing a lot of repeat work with our existing customers, we started building our own hardware.
Yeah.
And that's really phase two is building hardware that...
So all the cameras you guys have, you guys built?
That's right, except for
that's cool.
Not the actual camera on the inside. We've got a partnership with Nikon, so we leverage their good quality cameras. We're never going to be able to compete with building our own actual camera system. But the housing unit and the control bank that talks to the camera and communicates with our software is all IP of Timescapes.
Cool.
So that once we had the hardware and the software fully integrated, which was important for scalability, we have customers that deliver nationwide, and we've broken into other regions now and internationally, and the countries are much larger, so we have to be able to deliver at scale. So it was really important we had hardware that was scalable and could communicate with our software. Phase 3 of Timescapes now is leveraging AI and extracting valuable insights from those images.
Yeah,
and with the advantage of having high resolution images, we can get a lot of clear, crisp detail out of this data, which we call visual data. And, present it back to our clients through a centralized system.
Yeah,
so we've now got over 100, we've got 130 odd customers. Some of those are global organizations, and we're now moved into Australia and Canada regions, obviously here in New Zealand, and more recently into the US.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. And you're probably helping all of those guys that don't want to go on site but want to know what's going on site, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it
definitely
solves that problem.
Full on helping those dudes, like sit in front of a camera, sit in front of a TV screen and just go, that's what's happening on site.
The comfy desk, nice and warm in the office.
Yeah, you're promoting laziness, man.
Well, I think there's a lot of value in that, right? We've got some busy. There's definitely roles that are super busy and they don't have the time to be on site the whole time, or in this industry where labor is we're stretched in terms of resources. So being able to give them people tools, or these organizations tools to be able to do more with less is super valuable. So.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. So you guys, if I had to kind of sum that up, you guys have a camera, almost like a time-lapse camera where you build your own stuff, which is quite cool, really, really exciting. And you kind of use all of that data, actual live data, and feed it back to the client in actionable insights.
Yeah, that's right. Totally. Our software is
have you got an opening in your sales team?
You're welcome to join. Yeah.
Sure?
Do you want to move to the US?
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll be keen on that.
The software is really the value to our clients. The hardware is the enabler. We call ourselves a hardware-enabled software company. So that software, that web-based platform, it's all operated in the cloud, is really what's going to add the value to the customers, being able to interact with their project remotely, get the valuable insights on what's happening on the project, and help with efficiencies and resource allocation and how we're tracking against program, that sort of thing.
There seems to be this AI word being branded out quite a lot in this construction industry, AI this, AI that, AI everything.
Bit of a buzzword, yeah.
It really is a buzzword, eh? Yeah. So how do you guys use AI within Timescapes?
Yeah, AI is this.
How are you leveraging it? More
Yeah,
so?
yeah, for sure. If we look at what AI is, what it's actually doing, it's such a big realm, and it's so important in today's world. AI, we're essentially asking computers to think like humans and think logically. Within AI, you have machine learning, which is a form of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Within machine learning, we are looking at picking out patterns within a large amount of data, and do things like object detection, which we do within our visual data.
So can you give us an example of that?
Yeah, for sure.
Of object detection. What would that look like on a construction site?
So, say an excavator, for example, on a project.
Yep.
In our images, we see that there's an excavator. We can obviously tell there is. So we want to train the machine or the AI to know what an excavator is. So we need to make this useful. There needs to be a certain critical mass of data to be able to have a really good model at the end of the day. So for AI to be useful, we need a critical mass of data to train these algorithms.
Yeah. So when you say critical mass of data, you mean I take 10,000 pictures of excavators and say, AI, this is what an excavator looks like, or this is what every model of excavator looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a bit more than 10,000 images, but that's to train a model on what an excavator looks like. It's probably not far off bang on. So we would run maybe 3,000 images of circling an excavator, and that's the start of training this model, an object detection model.
Yeah.
We run it through those.
Would that be size, dimension, looks, data points, all of those things put together?
Different types of excavators. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And it so it knows exactly what an excavator looks like,
right,
for all these different sizes. And
cool.
Once we've done that, trained the model, or at least built the model, then you run it through this critical mass of data. So you want to run it through, say, 20, 30,000 more images, and you start training the model so it gets to a point where it's getting 85 to 90% accurate on what an excavator in this example looks like.
Yeah.
Further tweaks and things before it goes out to beta testing with our customers, and we roll it out so that we're comfortable with every image that comes into our platform. It's going to infer that that's an excavator.
Yeah.
At that 95 to 100% accuracy.
Yeah.
This is the area that we play in terms of artificial intelligence, is the ML. And what's really important, although AI is going to make a huge impact in the construction industry and many other industries, is although it's really exciting, the adage "garbage in, garbage out" holds
100%.
really true. Where if you've got
GIGO, I learned that as a kid, mate.
Yeah, man.
In my computer science class.
Poor quality data is going to result in bad output. So it's really important that data that you're using is super high quality, and that's where we have a huge advantage, is using high resolution images. It's largely objective data.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's unbiased and it's reliable. We've got consistent images being taken on these projects for years across hundreds of projects.
Can you give me some of examples of things that you've already trained your model on? Excavators.
Yeah, dump trucks, dozers, skip bins, cranes, EWPs.
What about people?
People, yeah.
People with hard hats, maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
People without hard hats?
So the hard hat one's interesting because that's a different type of model. If we can identify a person, we've developed a classification model over top of that. So it'd first pick up a person, and then another model would run over that, and that's called a classification model of whether or not they're wearing a hard hat or a high vis.
So you're entering the safety space as well, and you're actually in the safety space.
And that's really important in construction, obviously.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But for, again, where the labour shortages are a big problem, being able to deliver these insights across multiple projects and have insights on the health and safety culture of these projects at a fairly macro level, and then dive into the data of do we need to focus more attention on these individual sites.
So Big Brother is watching, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Not. But we're in a world of connectedness, right?
100%.
Everything's connected.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, that kind of leads
so
me to my next question right there, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's all of these construction companies out there, right? I think we were talking about this a bit earlier before the podcast as well. We're going, all of these companies have a shit ton of software packages that they're paying for. Crazy amount of subscriptions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where do you see like all of these software packages kind of have to integrate at some point in time somewhere at a common data lake, call it somewhere. interchangeability of information. Where do you see that going?
It's a real problem in today's industry where this industry is one of the least digitized. So I think for tech vendors, for tech vendors, it's a big opportunity to create something and plug a gap. So we're getting a lot of technology coming at the industry, and you're right, it's all siloed. They're not talking to each other. I think it's up to the tech vendors in this instance to talk to each other, understand what other products they can feed into, and build those API solutions so that they are talking to each other and make it easier for our customers, because it's only causing a bigger challenge in terms of selling your product. If it's not talking to other good solutions and it's siloed, then it's harder for the customer to buy it if it sits on its own.
Because you guys have seamless Procore integration right now, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
that's really cool that you've got like seamless Procore integration.
Yeah, we know that most of our customers use Procore or Aconex. We're working on a nice integration there as well. And
with Aconex, that's cool. Yeah.
Other good tools, but a lot of our customers use Procore, so it makes sense to build into it. For a tech vendor as well, it's quite challenging knowing what other products our customers are going to use on a wide scale, and what other technology is going to be around for years to come. So it's
have you got any program integration yet?
No, in terms of
Primavera P6.
Right. Timeline programming.
Programming,
not yet. But we're working on that for sure. I think
I know a guy.
Yeah, would love to. Yeah, would love to pick your brain on how that works. Well, I hear you're working on an interactive BOQ, billing of quantities tool, and I think that's super interesting, and would love to be able to tie the two solutions together.
We should talk about that more, eh? We'll talk about it in detail, but I'll give you the base concept of what we do.
Please.
This is like a really cool, innovative concept that we've come up where I don't think anybody else in the world has kind of actually picked up on this just yet. That's what I think we've just got this little gap that we've kind of identified.
Yeah.
I love that you guys kind of focus on what's actually happening there. Yeah. But there's the world that I live in, which is the future, what's going to happen, what are the different possibilities, and so on and so forth. So in order to write a good program, I need a good bill of quantities, schedule of quantities, what's designed. Yeah. Normally doing that is an estimator's job, and that normally takes about 2 weeks to generate from a set of drawings. So we then went, how can we do this smarter, faster, better? We've taken a 3D model in IFC file format and written Python code and SQL code to then convert that into a flat file, classify every design element into kind of standardized classifications, like design classifications, and then recalculating all the quantities within the 3D model to put in a neat little dashboard. So where you click on doors, and it shows you all the doors in a real little mesh model, and it shows you the quantum of doors at the same time. So we come up with this real cool interactive bill of quantity tool, which we're like, it's hot off the press. It's 2 weeks. We still don't know all the use cases for it, but fuck you, man, we're super excited about it.
It'll be saving some time, no doubt.
Yeah, or putting estimators out of business.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one. They're going to hate me for it.
I think they'll welcome that, won't they? Rather than dealing with 2D drawings and spending hours trying to pull that information out.
Bean count it.
Yeah.
Bean count the fuck out of 2D drawings. Yeah. Or would you click a button and have a full interactive 3D model, interactive BOQ, which is full 3D, you know? It's
brilliant. I mean, this is important, right? The industry needs innovation, and we're talking about labor shortages in this challenging environment.
Yeah,
we don't have the time like we used to. So, and everyone expects things faster. Yeah, and want to be delivering quicker. So having these tools, innovating in new technology like this is so important.
Yeah, and I think the next stage of the future as well would be really cool to find a way to actually integrate what I'm working on with what you're working on, which is the real world.
Yeah. Pulling out,
which is really cool.
The data in the real world and fitting it, or aligning it back into the program and giving insight onto where we are ahead or behind program is, I think, is going to be super powerful.
That's super simple to do, I think. Hey,
yeah.
I don't think it's a very complicated solution, to be honest. Not in my head, at least.
Yeah.
Now that I've actually gotten into the whole data world,
yeah,
and I actually understand what a GUID is. For people who don't know what a GUID is, it's a global identifier for a unique identifier for an object in 3D. Is I've gotten pretty deep into teaching myself Python code, mate. So okay,
Oh, I know who to talk to. Is perfect.
I'm not great at Python. That's planning is the name of the game. Like, everything else that I learn is to support what I do. You know. Yeah. That's quite cool. So I was telling you that I was trying to get we're trying to launch this 3D to BOQ tool, and going through the notions in my head, it just scares me on how to actually get this out into the industry. Yeah. So when you look at the New Zealand construction industry, what do you think the landscape for uptake on digital technology is like today at the current market as it stands?
I think it's got better over the years, and it's probably because we are one of the least digitized industries in the world. And,
there's no secret there.
And I think that's created a lot of opportunities for tech vendors, and obviously plugging gaps with good new innovative tools like your one that you've created. So there's all these new tools that are coming to fruition, and the industry is now met with the decision of using them or not. A lot of these are making significantly powerful impact, and
but is the uptake there though?
Yeah, so I think this is helping build trust in the industry that they are actually seeing benefits from it. I think for years there's been some weariness in the industry of, are we going to adopt these technologies or not, because they're maybe not hitting the mark. But as we are seeing really good new tools that are making a difference, we're starting to see that trust transform a little bit. I think there's still problems at the user level on the ground where it's a bit of an older school mindset, and there's some skepticism.
But the newer generation will pick it up in an instant.
For sure, and we see that. I think that's part of it. But we're also seeing leadership teams make the change, and they're wanting to bring in new technology from a leadership standpoint and go, this is going to make a difference across our organization. And I've just spent 15 months in Canada working with some of our big clients. We partnered with a company called Alliston. They're the biggest general contractor in Canada, and they've got a program it's called their Accelerator program, and they invite tech vendors to bring their solutions to them. And they have a full digital team that manages this program. They assess all the technology, and they pick the top 10 to 20 technology solutions that they think would be the best fit.
Yeah.
They come in and do a pitch day into that digital team, that organization. And then they, from that pitch day, they pick the top 10, and that top 10 then get piloted across actual projects within Alliston. It's a really neat program.
That's a neat program. I don't think we have any program like that in New Zealand.
No, I don't think it's here yet.
Yeah.
There are some companies that are talking about it.
Yeah, nice.
That we've had recent conversations about, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And then once it's piloted on projects, then they get the end users' feedback. This process is super important because the end users are telling their view on the value or not. And then they pick strategic partnerships with certain technology solutions. So we went through that program, and we're now a strategic partner with Alliston, which is a really neat process.
Nice.
That works well where they've got obviously the funds and resource to have a digital team, but smaller markets like New Zealand it's probably on the brink of being a bit smaller, harder to have a huge amount of technology solutions to pick from.
Yeah,
and have.
I mean, the tier ones in New Zealand all have digital teams.
They do for sure. Yeah, but in terms of like an accelerator program of inviting them in.
Yeah. To fast track in technology and adoption of technology onto live sites.
Yeah.
That's the key, isn't it? Because if a digital team only takes up the technology and says, "Oh yeah, we'll try it," but it never sees the light of day on a project,
100%.
What's the point?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like the idea of this accelerator program and getting it onto the sites as quickly as possible, and then enabling that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Pilot the tech and see what the value is. But within, I think there's four key criteria within an organization when they are adopting technology, and those are digital proficiency.
Yeah.
So does the organization have other solutions and have the mindset to actually solve tasks using technology? Is the organization proficient in that? That's probably the key one. And then I think having significant efficiency gains from technology and ROI. Is that technology actually going to return the investment back to them? Is number two. Number three, user adoption. So if they've got a team that aren't very good at taking on and adopting new technology, or it's complicated and it's not easy, then it's going to
Then
be
it's the
harder
tech guy's
for them
problem, then, isn't
to
it?
take it on.
Why is it the user's
Well,
problem? It's
I
never
think-
the user's problem.
Yeah.
Facebook is never going to come and tell me, hey, use this feature, but it's going to be really hard to use.
Yeah.
Then it's a you problem, Jono.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Tech
Yeah.
vendors have to. It's key criteria. This is what we look at, right?
Yeah.
These
User
three things.
experience.
Yeah. The adoption has to be simple.
Yeah.
Has to be so easy to use and intuitive. Otherwise, you're right. People won't use it.
Yeah.
So that's a key one. These are the 4 criteria that we look at. That digital proficiency. Are they going to actually get end result? Increase efficiencies from the tool. That user adoption has to be easy to use, intuitive. And then last one's technical fit.
Yeah.
Does it meet their digital strategy in the long term, today and long term? So that's where these digital teams are so important. And I think as a tech vendor, we need to align ourselves with the company's digital strategy long term and
Long-term goals, yeah. But I think there's one more point to adoption. It's kind of my view on why the adoption's not there within the industry for digital tech itself. And I think this is a big one. I think it's disconnected data.
Yes, yeah.
Loop it back, and it's just the age-old problem of disconnected data.
Yeah,
is where you see adoption of new technology just falls over. You may be solving one small problem with an isolated database. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this is today's problem that is still being figured out for sure. We've got all this data. Data's just become this big important word in the last probably 5-10 years, which sounds like a long time, but in the scheme of things, it's pretty short. So.
You know who's the guy
king.
that said data is the new oil?
Yeah, exactly.
I disagree.
Oh, do you?
Data is way more valuable than
Yeah.
oil, mate.
Nice.
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Way more valuable.
I couldn't agree. Yeah, more. I think because of the value that we're going to get in the future. Right now, lots of value in all this data, but it's what we do with it in the future and start running analytics programs and models using AI to interpret that data.
Yeah.
And what insights that's going to give us is going to be super powerful. So important to start collecting data now for big organizations.
Well-structured data.
Yeah. Visual data, even better.
Not just fucking data for the sake of collecting data on Excel spreadsheets. I disagree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking hell.
Or today, a lot of the data that's been collected is so subjective. It's a lot of it's human input.
Yeah.
And it's in reporting and it's sort of guesswork where we can collect objective data that is true as a photo, what's happening on the site, it's exactly what's seen within that image, and then extract insights from those wearable cameras, drones, all of the reality capture tools are. There's so much data within those images and frames.
Yeah,
is really powerful.
Yeah, 100%. No, couldn't agree more. There seems to be mass amounts of data, and we've spoken about the amount of software packages out there. Yeah, and one portion of it is how do companies use all of this digital tech, all of this information, and build trust through transparency and transparent exchange of information, which is then a reliable source of information. Yeah. How do you guys deal with that transparency and building that trust in Timescape?
I think this is such an important topic. Our solution is very transparent, transparency driven in terms of the output. It's showing everyone on the project what's exactly happening on site.
Or what is not happening on site.
Or what isn't. So we work with both sides, the main contractors who are building the projects and the owners who are funding the project. And I think the biggest impact and where things go really well is when both have access to our system and are transparently communicating through the system. It's objective, it's exactly what's happening on site, and it's super transparent. Therefore, relationship is far stronger because there's no guesswork as into what's going right or wrong. I think there is a general lack of trust in the industry with the structure as it is today or in the past. With tools like yours, like ours, that's helping improve the transparency. I think that's getting far better. But
my tool's not real yet. It's not. We've only piloted it on one job, but I didn't mean to cut you off. You're way more advanced than I am, mate. Yeah.
But to be frank, I think a main contractor would be doing a disservice if they were overly trustworthy on projects. To be honest, it's not the nicest thing to say, but it is a constant battle at the moment. Where
well, you're forgetting the third party at play, or the fourth party at play, or the fifth party at play.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a relationship between a client and a main contractor. There's a project management company. There's Auckland Council. There's your structural designer, your architectural designer, your environmental guys that come in and actually dictate terms. You know, the number of stakeholders you're dealing with is quite a lot. I don't think people actually understand how many stakeholders you're dealing with once you jump into a construction site, right?
Totally, yeah. And the complexity then, it becomes a pretty easy blame game.
It is 100%, you know. I don't have design information, so I can't actually build. I've raised 35 RFIs, so I don't know how many RFIs. By the way, there's shocking stats behind that.
Yeah.
It's actually normal for a construction company, which is on a build-only contract, to raise more than one RFI a day.
Yeah, right.
Standardized, it's normal.
Yeah.
So it's paper war. It's like, you know, so
yeah,
he said, she said, he did, she did, she didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You know, it's chaos out there.
Yeah, it is. The number of disputes are on the rise as well, which is a shame. So tools that help build trust on each other, I think, is really important, and the best way to do that is through transparency. I think if
but you're never always going to get that on a construction site, though.
No,
you're not. You know, I mean, that's like the blue sky that we want to live in. So like this complete transparency.
Yeah.
Have you sat in on PCG meetings?
No.
Can I recommend that you do?
Okay, yeah. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I want to.
Nah, mate. It's absolutely fucking fun. You should go sit in PCG meetings.
Yeah.
Funny, like I'm like the data guy, right?
Sure.
When I go sit in PCG meetings, it's like it's quite interesting. You quickly really understand what each person's drivers are. Time, cost, quality, health and safety. You know where each person's leaning towards. You know what I mean? And everybody have different drivers.
Yeah.
So you know when all of that is at play, you know, And I'm the data guy, and I've got most of the data sitting right in front of me.
Well, that's the idea, right? They've got the tools to be able to pull and say, well, these are the facts. It's not a he said, she said.
Yeah.
We can start leaning on.
But here's the thing, Jono. It's not as simple to do that in this day and age.
Yeah.
You know, okay, think about your cost data, right? Unstructured cost data, cost data which doesn't have any location information or sub-location information in it. It's all lump sum concrete, lump sum earthworks for the entire site. Program data that doesn't actually correlate to the cost data, but also unstructured in its own sort of way and form, you know? Then you've got quality data that's got no correlation to fucking either your cost or your program. I keep going. You know, you take any silo within construction, such unstructured data all around, and now you need to produce an entire report that actually tells a story to a group of individuals that are expected to make decisions based off.
Can
you see how crazy that sounds?
Oh, for sure. There's no solutions right now.
We're living in the wild fucking west right now, man.
Well, hopefully it's better than where it was. A few years ago, but I agree. There's nothing that's solving these problems right now. But we are
you guys working towards this, something like that? Where you're, I know you're working towards. You know, you've got actual information, and you want to link it to time information.
For sure. I mean, as much data as we can get out of the real time images on site and feed that back into the digital twin, which then feeds into the program.
Yeah,
I think is super powerful. But we're never going to,
and vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. They can start talking to each other.
And then that's only one part of the battle.
Yeah.
Because then you've got the time element, then you've got the quality element, then stakeholder engagement element.
And all these tools need to talk to each other to make a serious impact.
Yeah,
and be more.
So, but I genuinely don't think we've got far to go before all of that integration takes place.
I agree. Yep. And the rate that these tools and our tool has evolved over the years is crazy. We're only 6 years old, and we started working on the analytics portion of Timescapes and extracting data from the images just over 2 years ago. And to see where we are now and how much insights we're giving back to the project teams, it's crazy. We're able to look and quickly at a few clicks of a button tell how many hours concrete trucks were on site, for example, which used to be such a mundane task.
Can you actually tell how much a concrete's bought today?
No, not quantities.
Not yet. Not yet.
No. We'll give you the hours that the concrete trucks were on site, which ultimately
That
is a
doesn't
concrete
necessarily
port.
mean they've actually done what they're meant to have done, right?
Yeah, it's not the number of cubic meters.
Yeah.
You've got to start somewhere and get
100%. No.
start
Don't get me wrong.
ticking the boxes.
I'm not poking for.
Yeah. No,
I'm trying to understand what your tool's capable of and isn't capable of.
So number of hours on site and with all the machinery, resource allocation, people clocked in, clocked out, daily logs, something that site teams have to do every day or every week, and writing down what the weather was doing, how many people we had on site, what hours we were working, and number of hours assets were doing and things, is something that we can pull directly from the platform and feed it straight into a daily log, into some sort of template. So
nice.
saving time, and then this is all feeding back to that transparency, right? It's
100%.
It's all objective data that is seen by both or all, like you said, all different parties, not just owner and GC,
and non-manipulated data. Very importantly.
Yeah, exactly. It's an exciting space, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And we're there. I reckon 5 to 10 years, mate.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you.
Not any more than that. We'll have full integrated data, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think enough about construction, mate. So let's talk about something you're passionate about. Yeah, sport.
Sure.
I hear.
Yeah, I love watching sport. Yeah, playing casually.
Yeah. What kind of sport are you into now these days?
I try to play golf as much as I can.
What's the handicap at?
Oh, don't ask. I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm around it. I don't know. I would probably be an 18, 20 at the moment. Yeah,
mate, so I think this year on December 4th, we're having the strategic planning Christmas party. It's at a golf club.
Oh,
I probably won't say what golf club, but all my podcast guests get an invite on by default. I expect to see you at the longest drive comp.
I'm glad I said a 20 handicap.
Oh, you said 20 handicap? I think you said 17 then, man. Come on.
Yeah. Do you play?
There's no backs. Nah, I hit the driving range when I'm stressed, you know. It's a really good stress relief for me. And I mean, and that's why we're like, you know, we tried giving away Christmas presents or whatever. And we're like, that's what everybody else does. I'm like, why am I doing what everybody else does? Nice. So we started throwing a golfing event every year.
I love that. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing you swing a club.
Oh, yeah, mate. We'll see. Yeah.
That'll be fun. No,
do you get to 200 yards on your drives?
Oh, yeah, I think so. 200 yards.
No, 200 meters, sorry.
200 meters, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, fucking yards.
Yeah, I don't know, around that.
All right, better check here before you
come. Other sport, I'm getting into a bit of running. I'm enjoying the longer distance running, although it's fairly painful when you're out there. But I really want to get into an ultra event. There's the Tarawera Classic, which you can do a 50K or a 100K or 100 mile.
Right. That is long.
A bit nuts, yeah. Well, the 100 mile is. 50K is probably a bit more manageable, maybe what I'll get into. But I just did an awesome event. It was just with a group of mates. We ran over the Kaimais.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the North-South Track, 85 kilometres. And we did it in 2 days and stayed in the hut halfway through. So we did 50Ks in the first day and 35 the second day. That was awesome. It's such beautiful country up there.
Yeah.
But man, it was brutal.
I bet it was brutal.
It's rough terrain. It's a lot. We halfway through. This is more like fast hiking rather than ultra running, because it was just such brutal terrain. You were climbing up steep banks and on your hands and knees, climbing up ladders and points.
Yeah.
But yeah, beautiful country. It was really neat. So just doing a lot of pounding the pavement on the running at the moment.
Yeah. Which
I'm quite enjoying. Do you get into any of that sort of thing, running, or you're more of a snowboarder?
I snowboard. Yeah. I try and snowboard so as much as I can.
Nice.
I've been to
where do you go?
I've been to Vancouver, Whistler.
Cool. Yeah.
I've been to Chamonix in France.
Oh, nice.
Obviously Rubehu, but I haven't been to the South Island.
What? Oh, come on,
mate. You know, true fact. It's actually cheaper to go to Japan on a ski trip than it's to actually go to Queenstown on a ski trip. Eh?
Wow, are you sure about this?
I mean, I'm telling you, I've done the research. It's actually cheaper.
Well, yeah.
It's like literally go on a Dive Fish and Snow, their website. I think they call Travel & Co now.
Right.
You go there and you could actually go to Japan for a 5-day holiday on a ski trip and come back for about $2,800.
Gee, I need to look into this because Japan powder is.
I mean, on point apparently.
I'd love to.
Yeah. Japan's next on my list. Yeah.
Yeah.
So So that's why I haven't been to the south. I was meant to go.
Yeah.
Then I injured my leg, so
Oh no.
so no snowboarding this season.
Yeah. Where do you go? Do you to Ruapehu?
Ruapehu, yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically Turoa.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. There's too many T-bars in Whakapapa for me.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, they need a bit more snow. It's just been
It's been really bad last couple of years, eh?
It's shocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're losing customers, and there's a bit of risk of the mountain closing down, which is sad. I grew up in Taupo, so not far from the mountain there. We used to do good trips up to Whakapapa and Turoa.
Yeah.
Love that mountain when it's got snow on it.
Yeah.
And it's not slushy
Yeah.
crap or these rocks poking out of the snow, then it's other than that.
Mate,
It's
I'll
beautiful.
tell you what, if you've learned snowboarding in either Turoa or Whakapapa, you can board anywhere in the world, I reckon.
Yeah, it's good terrain, isn't it?
It's good terrain, and the snow is not always the best. So you're like always in like tricky conditions.
Yeah, dodging rocks.
Dodgy rocks, or you're like going down like straight fucking cliffs down.
Yeah.
Have you been out to the glacier area out in Turoa, to the right hand side of the mountain, where you go up high noon, traverse all the way out, and there's this whole. About 8 years back, you could access that area.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I haven't done that.
It's still dodgy terrain to get there.
Yeah.
I've got a few scratches on my board trying to get to that area.
I don't like the fact
it's epic
it's
out there.
Glacier area. So is it super icy?
It's called the glacier area.
But it's covered in nice snow.
It's when there's a decent dump, and there's enough cover. You can go all the way up high noon and just get off the chairlift and just keep traversing all the way left.
Right.
And you get this beautiful ball of snow.
Awesome.
And then you pretty much go right down to the Nawiki chairlift. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, is that so? If you're heading left from the top, you're heading towards Whakapapa. Have you done that traverse between Whakapapa and Turoa?
No, I haven't actually.
Neither actually.
Yeah.
But I hear it's quite neat.
It's a good mountain. I think you may have to climb up to the crater halfway to do that. I think.
Yeah. There's a bit of hiking involved.
Yeah, I'm not wasting a bluebird day doing that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. You got a chairlift to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. What? When were you in Whistler? Because I hear that's outstanding. I was there in summer last year, but haven't made it over during winter.
I was in Whistler spring of 2017, 2018, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
27, I think. Yeah, around that time, but it was epic.
Good
16 centimeters of fresh dump.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
You could go up Whistler, then catch the gondola, peak to peak, go on Blackcomb and come down Blackcomb, and do the whole thing again.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking epic.
It's
like
awesome,
I think the terrain's different, where you can go through like trees and stuff. It's just, but again, I was by myself, so I wasn't like very adventurous going off feast.
Yeah.
I'm a bit careful about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't want to crash on your own. I love the trees. It's awesome.
It's beautiful.
North American. We did a couple of days in Banff last year.
Banff, yeah.
And ended up in Lake Louise, I think it was, ski field. Beautiful. Man, it's so cool in the Rockies up there.
Yeah.
And the trees are awesome.
Oh, mate, it's epic just carving through those trees.
Another thing to factor in, it's wicked. Canada have such amazing mountains. Well, in the US, spent some time in Park City and Snowbird down in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some amazing mountains there. And we actually got some proper powder, not like we do the slush stuff.
Mate, if I take up that job at Timescape that you promised me, would you post me near a snowboarding mountain?
Yeah, sure, Utah, if you like.
There we go. See, that's the sales pitch. I'm sold already. What do you reckon?
Yeah, there's a spot there for sure. Well, we might be starting in Texas first. I don't know if there's a lot of
mountains in
not
Texas.
many mountains down in Texas.
I don't think so. Yeah. Anyways, mate, it's been really great having you on the show. Thank you for all of your valuable insights into digital tech and AI, and wish you guys all the best at Timescape, and hopefully there's a collab opportunity between us.
Yeah, thanks Andy. It's been awesome chatting to you and learning from you too. And it's really exciting to see that you've got some tools on the go and looking to make a change in the industry. It's really neat. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, cheers, mate.
Cheers.